For this episode, we want to highlight Hi-Fi Cookies. Sean and his team use inspiration from childhood treats and a love of music to make distinct cookies and milkshakes. You can find their cookies at their East Nashville and Donaldson locations. Follow them on Instagram at Hi-Fi Cookies. Welcome to another episode of the Nashville Dads. This week we have on Max Palmer of the Bagel Shop. We talk about how we started the bagel shop during COVID, playing music, dealing with confrontation, and books. We hope you enjoy. I have found since becoming a dad, whenever I hang out with other people, I'll take friends to Nashville Soccer Club games, and I'll be like, hey, before we go to our seats, we have to go to the bathroom. Do you guys need a snack? Do we need anything?
Yes.
And then I'm like, hey, man, your friends are in their mid-30s.
And other dads totally get it.
They do.
Like I went to, I took my daughter to like our construction site today.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the guy who is like our GC is doing very much. Like, I don't think he hangs out with a lot of kids. Yeah. He doesn't have any. And you can just always tell because I was like, my daughter Elliot, I was like, Elliot, this is Eric. And Eric was like, sup? I was like, you don't hang out with kids very much, do you? Because like, if you're around kids, you're like, hi, hey, how are you?
Yeah. Your voice goes up with a different registry. I feel like I physically get lower to them because I'm 6'4". So
you have to.
To most people who aren't children, I'm kind of intimidating physically. Yeah. So especially for a child who like has no idea what's happening in the room. Yeah. For a giant to be like, hey, what's up, kid? Doesn't really work out too well usually.
Yeah.
Note for the episode, Justin isn't here. He has COVID. He finally got it. He hadn't gotten it the entire time. Yeah, first time.
What a lucky guy.
What a lucky dude. He was like, I haven't gotten it yet, technically. I mean, everyone else in my family's gotten it. I've just never tested positive. So, you know what? I'm so proud of him, We really are. Round of applause. Just round of applause for getting an awful virus that makes you feel really bad.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Justin, he always tells me he doesn't listen to our episodes because he hates the sound of his voice. So we'll see.
We wish you were here.
We wish you were here, Justin. Where are you, Justin? So Max, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yes, of course.
It, man. So you do a bagel shop, right?
I do. The bagel shop.
Not a bagel shop.
Not a, the.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing that for?
Started that the very end of 2019.
Okay.
It was a weird situation, kind of just like stumbled upon it. I was working for a company here in town doing advertising and marketing. That's my background.
Okay.
So I do not have any sort of food background. Cool. Outside of just like baking with my wife in our kitchen for fun.
Yeah.
And I go in and it's like time to get our annual yearly reviews. Meanwhile, like we just had our first kid, my second, our first kid. And I was like, all right, you're at home. She was working for a company that gave her like 4 months maternity leave. What? So she got a ton of time off. So she was at home, just like enjoying herself, being a new mom, doing that. And I'm like, all right, I'm going into this meeting. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to get a raise. And I walk in and the first thing they're like, Max, will you please sit down?
Oh,
I was
man.
like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, what's going on? They're like, your role no longer exists as the company. And I was like, wow. So they were like, well, you can take this other job that will offer you that pays you half as much as you get now. And it's not salaried and you don't get any of these benefits that you had just working like customer service.
Yeah.
Or you can take a severance and be on your way. And I was like, peace out.
Yeah. That's one way to get paternity leave.
Yeah. So then I'm at home. Meanwhile, it was like 2 weeks before Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Because our daughter, she was born November 16th next week, but 4 years ago. Yeah. And so it was like right in the middle of these two big events. And then this just like happens.
Yeah.
So we're just sitting at home. And my wife is saying things like you got to find another job. We got to figure this out. What are we going to do? You're like all up in my way. Please find something to do. Just like get in the kitchen and make some food.
And this was the first time she had a kid, right?
Yes.
Like her first kid. Yeah. So everything's a little raw.
Yeah. Yeah. Like aside from my 2-year-old at the time, like her being stepmom and doing as much as she could with that. But he lives in Florida. So it's kind of like we don't get to spend a ton of time with him, but we do as much as we can.
Sure.
So it was all very new to pretty much for both of us.
Yeah.
Like we were figuring everything out. And so she's like, you gotta get out of my hair. Like, let me take care of our daughter, and you just like find something to do in the meantime. So I just like, I remember I was watching a video on YouTube about these two guys that were just like trying bagels. I was like, I bet I could figure that out.
Yeah.
I love bagels.
Yeah.
And then one thing led to another, and then I started a business. I don't know how it happened, but it did. So it was like, and then COVID, right?
Sure.
And then the tornado.
Oh yeah.
It was like
everything. Do you live in East Nashville, Donaldson
No,
area?
we're in Donaldson.
Okay,
so it didn't like actually hit us, but I mean,
but
so
also,
many of my friends.
depending on what street you're on in Donaldson, it could have killed you. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So mainly COVID hit when I was starting my business, and all my friends were losing their jobs. Meanwhile, I'm doing like more success. I'm like gaining more success than I ever have. And I had this like huge imposter syndrome moment when I was like, am I allowed to be happy when all my friends are getting laid off?
Having like the worst month of their life.
I know. But things just like continued to work out for us. We started in our kitchen. That quickly turned into like, we would wake up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Start baking. When our daughter woke up, take care of her for a bit. When it was nap time, we'd be done baking, and then I'd go out and make deliveries. And that was like every day. And we were delivering to people's doorsteps. Then that goes on for a few months, and we quickly outgrow our kitchen. We were able to make like 6 bagels at a time.
Yeah.
Like that's it in a home oven.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not going to scale.
Not so much.
So go from that. We moved into a shared kitchen. It was a commissary. We did that. We picked up farmers markets, some wholesale accounts. We were wholesaling with the deli that was inside the Fairlane Hotel downtown at the time.
Yeah.
And then one day I remember calling the guy. I'm like, all right, how many bagels you guys need for your order tomorrow? And he was like, oh, actually, we just found out today that the restaurant's closing.
Oh.
Okay, well, all right, sorry. Like,
It was
meanwhile,
fun.
it was fun. I'm going back to doing farmers markets, deliveries, all that.
Yeah.
And then we kind of outgrow the commissary.
Yeah.
It was just getting too much with just me and my wife, and then there's like a couple friends who are like quote unquote employees.
Yeah.
We would just like Venmo them some money when we had it.
And so just because I bake also,
yes.
Whenever you would do the bagels, like you need a ton of space for like the rises for that much to happen. So
yes.
did you take up like a whole wing of the commissary whenever you were there almost?
We basically had our own walk-in cooler.
Cool. Yeah.
But then go back to like when we were at our house, we ended up getting a second refrigerator.
Yeah.
And kind of like retrofitting it to just like squeeze as many sheet pans as you could.
Basically, yeah.
Because like, I mean, the process for a bagel is it rises almost 24 hours before you can get to the next step.
Yeah.
So we're back at the commissary. We outgrow that. And then one day the owner of the hotel, the Fairlane, which we were working with, gives me a call, and he's like, hey, like the space has been empty for a while. I think we're ready to like bring things back. Would you want to possibly open a restaurant? And I was like, I've never opened a restaurant. I've barely even waited tables like for a few months in my life. So I had to think about it. He gave me a really good deal just because of the time.
Yeah. Was that like towards the end of 2020?
Yeah, I was like, right. It was probably like 2 years ago. Well, sorry, 3 years ago, like now.
Yeah.
So he lets me know. He's like, here's what we're working with. Let me know if you want to come by the shop. I went in and this place was like completely built out to be a bagel shop.
Oh, seriously?
It had every single piece of equipment that I needed.
That's cool.
And me having no idea what equipment I needed, I just felt right. So we signed the lease. We did it. We opened in March of 21. And it's just been nonstop since then. I mean, it's just getting busier and busier and busier and busier. And then about a year and a half ago, when we came to about our year with the hotel, we were like, I think we want to try something else. Because as amazing as the hotel has been, it's just like always in the back of my head, it wasn't my dream location for what I wanted my restaurant to be.
Yeah.
Just because like it was already, I didn't have to do anything to it. So it was like, that was a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
So did that, and we signed our lease on the new space while the hotel kind of has been taking over for us on the restaurant side of things over there to give me and my wife time to step back and just like figure out exactly what we wanted with the new space. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've been doing. I think we're going to be ready in like 2 weeks.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's been crazy. I mean, it's been like a year and a half of nonstop work.
Yeah.
my mom, who is an angel, who has like one of the best designers ever, helped us with all the design in the space.
Yeah.
She really helped bring my vision to life. We've been working with really good. We had this artist back from my hometown come and do this huge mural on the wall.
Oh, that's cool.
So everything has been like very meticulously done, but only just because like this is like my dream. I wanted to take the time and make it happen.
Yeah. To put your character and everything into it. Yeah.
Yes. And also meanwhile, like being a dad.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. While
Back to that.
Being like, yeah, sure. I think I'm mentally available for my child. So you have one kid who lives in Florida.
I have a 6-year-old Parker who's in Florida. Okay. And my daughter turns 4 next week.
Sweet.
Yes. So she's like our pre-COVID baby.
Yeah.
Like that's all she ever knew.
Yes.
So that was it. That was interesting.
Oh yeah. No. We've talked to quite a few people who had kids like in March of 2020, and like just so many of the expectations you had of having a kid of like, I'll get help from. Nope. Hold on.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I think the most exhausting thing from COVID is I felt like every single person I talked to, I had to have a defining the relationship conversation with. I'm like, cool, what do you think safety is? Because we probably don't have the same definition, and we're both anxious as hell right now because it's a pandemic. So what's your definition right now?
Yeah, it's wild just because like on one hand, I'm so thankful that neither of my kids were like old enough to go to school at the time, because I see people who had like 4 and 5-year-olds that were doing video teaching, and I'm just like, how?
Yeah. My oldest went to kindergarten in 21, so she did in person with mask. And all my friends...
That was probably still difficult for them. It was
difficult, but so different than my friends who, like, their oldest would go and they'd be at home with 3 kids. The oldest would be like in a closet basically with a laptop trying to learn, while the other 2, she was trying to keep out of the room the entire time.
Yeah,
so I'll take masked in person
very true.
over that scenario
very true.
Anytime.
Yeah. It's a wild world we live in.
It is. It is very
and
much
it's a very wild world that we're bringing our children up in.
Yeah.
It's also crazy.
Yeah. It's, man, I feel like that's a fun moment when your kid gets older and they actually understand and comprehend stuff. So you can't give the because I said so answers as much.
Yeah. We're kind of getting to that point with Elliot right now. She's got a little attitude, which we love, but it's tough.
It's a fine line. It's
is.
How do I make sure? Because I think attitude is also like a form of personality to some extent.
I think she has more personality than anyone I've ever met.
Yes, but how do you also teach respect at the same time?
Yes.
And also I'm not modeling it well. So.
Yeah. Well, she just started like actual school this year, which has been a game changer. She'd been in daycare ever since we could get her in daycare, just because like the business took off so fast. We were like, let's get her in daycare right now. But now she's in like every day, goes to class. Yeah. It's a Montessori school, which we love. And I can tell just in like the almost 6 months she's been in school, how moldable a 4-year-old's mind is, and how quickly they'll just like attach to any idea that they're given and just run with it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
It is. I feel like how my wife and I describe it is they wear so many different hats and try on so many different personalities also, that there's some days they come home and you're just like, so who are you today?
Yes, exactly.
Today you were extremely polite. You did everything I asked. I almost didn't have to ask you to do stuff. You were super helpful. You were really nice to your younger brother. Then the next day,
tomorrow you're going to be a cat.
Yes. The next day I had to carry you in because you're a cat with a broken leg.
And you can't walk and all you do is meow.
Yep. And I also have to respect that because you're 4. So
exactly.
I can't treat you like an adult.
Exactly.
In this way.
Exactly. Get it. We'll figure it out.
Much. It's really fun though.
Yeah.
I felt like daycare is always a fun thing to figure out. I'm sure daycare during a pandemic was also especially fun to figure out.
It was interesting. I mean, she would like went to the same place and she was in the same daycare for like 3 years, which was amazing for us. But it is very different than the school that we're at now, just because like she's on one hand, she had been around people for so long. Like she's really good. She has great social skills. She's really good around other kids. So that was never a problem. But then figuring out more structure probably it's taken her the longest.
Yeah.
Just because before we could take her in at any time in the morning and just like whenever she woke up, and then she could be there until like 6 p.m., which was amazing for us.
Yeah.
But now it's got to be there by 7:30, and then she walks in, and it's very cute, and she just like finds a friend and holds their hand.
That's really cute.
It's so sweet.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, like the other day we were there for some event at her school, and one of her friends got sad that the parents were having to leave, and she went and sat down by her friend and held his hand. It was like, don't be sad. It's going to be okay. I'm here for you. It was like, I feel like I'm doing things right.
I know. Yeah. Whenever your child displays empathy, you're like, I'm going to assume that was from me.
It's all me. I did it.
Also, that's really sweet. I want, because there's some form of like your inner child that's like, yeah, if I'm alone, I want someone to hold my hand and say, hey, I'm with you.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, the difference of whenever they get into a pre-K or kindergarten, and it's like, no, they're actually learning stuff now versus like, I'm not saying daycare is just babysit, but to some extent, it's just like
glorified babysit to a bit.
It's very expensive.
To any daycare people that are listening, please don't get offended.
Please don't.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
No, not at all. Where are you originally from?
I am from Ridgeland, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Yes, moved here in 2013. So
yeah,
I've hit my tenure.
Nice. How's it feel?
Feels good. I haven't gone anywhere else, so that's nice. You know, this is always like my brother. So I have two brothers, older brother, younger brother. My older brother was here for about 8 years before I moved here. So this had always been and like felt like very homey to me. Yeah. I always felt like I had a place to go. I could come just like crash on his house, like on his couch anytime.
Yeah.
So I knew that I didn't want to spend the rest of my days in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is a close second. So I moved up here the day after I graduated college and been here ever since.
Sweet.
Musician, obviously, like most people, which is slightly taken aback, been taking a back seat as of late. But, I mean, I started picking up playing again not too long ago, and that's been a really fun way to get out, especially because my daughter's like obsessed with my band.
Oh, really?
Obsessed.
That's really cool.
She loves all the members and loves our music and sings along and dances.
That's really cool.
Requests the songs when we're in the car.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Does that feel weird to listen to your own music?
No, I don't mind it. I like it.
It's like, well, I did spend a lot of time on this, and I wrote this song because I thought it sounded good. So, like,
yeah, exactly. I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah, I got you.
I love it, but it's been really fun to watch her like grow up. We're such a musical household.
Cool.
Like everybody in my family is a musician. My mom, my dad, my brother, both my brothers actually.
Yeah. So
it's just kind of been a thing that we've all done. So being able to kind of raise her in the same way that I was brought up. I mean, I probably forced her to listen to a lot of music that I listen to, but I'm trying to get her into as much as I can before she hits like a rebellious teenage phase when she refuses to listen to anything that I listen to. Yeah. Like her favorite band right now is Paramore.
Oh, nice.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
So like she loves listening to that. She likes Sade. You know, like anything that I listen to, she probably is into right now, which is amazing.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
I know.
I've listened to the My Little Pony soundtrack at least 10 times.
Well, today, I mean, we cut into Frozen every once in a while.
You have some
like,
kid music in there, but there's a difference between, like, it was Veterans Day, like in remembrance of it. So I had all 3 kids at home today. Yeah. So like, I've listened to only kids music for the entire day, and I'm like, hey, how about just like at least 3 national songs, just at least something.
Just give me a little bit.
Give me some drum beats that I can predict a little bit. Just please. No, we want the song again. This song is 1 minute. We've already listened to it 5 times this hour. Can we please just, I'm sorry, I'm being picky, but can we please stop for the next 1 hour?
Exactly. Yep, I get it.
I made my oldest, we live close to like Phonolux, so I'll take the 2 older ones. I have a 7 and a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So I'll take the 2 older ones to Phonolux to get albums every once in a while so we can switch out vinyls. So I got the oldest one into Sam Cooke.
Very
I'm
nice.
like, oh, thank God. Because Sam Cooke is just so easy to listen to and just so insanely talented.
Oh, yeah. It's like, so my parents raised me on like a lot of, so my mom's a jazz singer. So
cool.
I was brought up on a lot of like jazz and soul and R&B and stuff like that. Favorite band of all time is Steely Dan.
Yeah. Hence your Instagram handle.
Yes. But that's only probably just because it's like my parents' favorite band. Yeah. So they really did that for me, which is why I'm making it such a big deal to do that for her.
Yes.
She hasn't quite been bitten by the Steely Dan bug yet, but maybe one day we'll get there. I've been trying.
Yeah. I think I listen to sad music usually.
Uh-huh.
And one of my daughters was like, why do they sound so sad in this song? And I'm just
Mine
like,
has the exact same thing, yes.
and I'm like, that's actually really good. You can pick up on that. But also, like, doesn't it like speak to some part of your soul you didn't know existed before?
Yeah, exactly.
So
like the things that we don't think about because we just like sing the lyrics and they just get like really introspective with it.
Yeah.
We're like, man, I wish I had like your 4-year-old mind sometimes to just think about things the way that you do.
Yeah. Do you have any albums? This is just not parenting related. Do you have any albums you wish you could go back and listen to for the first time again? Have you ever gone down that rabbit trail in your head?
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's think.
Yeah.
I think Third Eye Blind self-titled is like...
It's perfect. It's the perfect pop album.
I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah, oh, are you?
Yeah.
Nice. Also, I'm just going to side tangent on Third Eye Blind. Blue is one of the most ambitious pop albums of all time.
I agree.
It is fantastic. Their guitar playing is insane in it. Also, just the amount of like drug and abortion references in all their songs.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Like, how's this pop music?
Yes. If only Stephen Jenkins wasn't insane.
Yeah, he is kind of insane. Just a bit.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have it any other way.
No. He's a little wounded.
Yes. Oh my God. That was great.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely something Third Eye Blind. Probably Steely Dan, Asia.
Yeah.
For sure. If I could listen to Asia for the first time, just having no idea what to expect, but like in the 32-year-old body that I have now, I feel like I would just appreciate it on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
My mind would absolutely be blown. And then maybe like Morning View by Incubus.
Oh, yeah.
They were like my first favorite band growing up.
Yeah.
So I remember listening to them a lot when I was younger, and that was insane.
Incubus is one of those bands where, like in 8th grade or like freshman in high school, I listened to Morning View, and I don't think I listened to anything else
at all
until like I discovered like emo music.
Yeah, same for me. Yes. It went from like Incubus to like death metal.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Incubus is good, but have you heard Thursday? So
yes,
here you go.
I just saw them like 3 weeks ago. By the way,
really?
Yeah, I played a music festival with them.
Oh, you did Furnace Fest, right? Nice. How was that? Was that pretty fun?
It was the biggest crowd I've ever played to, and I had never been more nervous. To do anything in my life.
I mean, you played with As Cities Burns, right? So like they have a lot of the bands that played at Furnace Fest have a pretty rabid fan base. Yeah. They're all very like nostalgia, want to go there. They're coming to hear these songs and they want to be perfect.
Yes, it was wild. And it was As Cities Burns' last show ever.
Oh, really?
So to get asked to do that was insane.
Cool.
My best friend from Mississippi has been playing guitar with them for a few years. So whenever they wanted to do it and he asked me, I was like, absolutely, I would never say no to this. Yeah. It was amazing. And I saw some incredible bands that I never thought I'd be able to see, or bands that I haven't seen since like the early 2000s, which was amazing.
I just listened through a book called Sellout by Dan Ozzie.
So I've heard about it.
It's really good.
There's a podcast I listen to called 60 Songs to Explain the 90s.
Oh, okay.
You should get on that.
Yeah, man.
It's
I'm
insane.
Intrigued. Yeah.
I think he's been a guest on it before and he's talked to him. But it's a great show. He did
the Laura Jane Grace biography also, which is extremely well done. You seem like you have an older soul than a 32-year-old with your love of Third Eye Blind and late 90s stuff.
It's just, this is what I grew up on. This is how it's always been. But it's also become like a lot more impactful as of the past, probably like 10 years for some reason.
Yeah. Are you the youngest in your family?
Middle.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I have an older brother. Like I said, they both live here. My older brother, he is an entrepreneur here. He owns a business called AeroBuild and AeroBar. They basically build like mobile business trailers.
Okay.
It's really cool. But he was here for a little bit before me. And then our youngest brother lives here as well. He is in Vandy Med School.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's living at our house.
Yeah.
He's our roomie, which has been it's been really fun, especially between him and our daughter.
Yeah.
Like they are obsessed with each other.
That's
and
cool.
She loves getting to hang out with her uncle all the time.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has got like that cool uncle.
Yeah.
He's definitely like taken on that role.
That's really cool.
And it's been amazing. It also is so great because anytime that my wife and I need to go somewhere and he's just sitting at home, we don't have to get a babysitter.
Yep.
It's like a built-in babysitter.
And also, whenever she's 4, it's kind of like, all right, your bedtime's like 6:37ish.
No, her bedtime's like 9:30.
Is it really?
Yeah, I don't know how this happened, but
listen, I don't make parenting
she stays
critiques,
up
but are
late.
you okay?
She stays up late. It's
Does
like
she
I'm pretty
sleep
sure.
in?
No, she's up at like 6.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's funny because usually as soon as we put her down, we're like, all right, now bedtime for us.
Yeah, because, I mean, she goes to bed at 9:30. I'm good. I was probably ready for you to go to sleep like an hour and a half.
The only time it ever really causes any problems is whenever we want to watch a movie.
Yes.
And then if we either have to like put her in our bedroom with her Netflix or we just have to watch something that she wants to watch. Yep. I used to love going to see movies, and that's like one of the downsides of parenting is that you just don't get to do that for so long.
Nope.
I don't know when I'm just going to be able to go and see movies again.
Also, you have to find other people who are in a similar phase of life as you who want to see movies at the same time. Because, like, I do all like the Marvel movies usually, and I'll like try to see them in theaters. But some of them, I'm not going to see this one in theaters. Like the amount of steps it takes to be like, all right, Heather, when's a night in which you'll be home? We feel connected enough that I can just go leave and see a movie in a dark room, hopefully with someone else for 2 to 3 hours. And that this doesn't feel like I'm literally just like, I'm getting what I want right now. How do we get this?
Same exact thing for us. I don't even know the last movie that we saw.
The last movie my wife and I saw together, I don't know. It was probably Tenet.
But I can tell you the next movie we're going to see is Trolls 3.
Without your kid, right? Just you.
Just the two of us, date night.
Just date night. Seeing the third Trolls movie.
Like it got NSYNC back together.
I know.
One of the first concerts I ever went to.
Was it really?
Actually,
did they play in Mississippi?
They did.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how you know that your band is huge when you can afford to pay Mississippi, because you're probably not going to end up making very much money.
I've never heard of someone going to Mississippi to go to a concert.
Well, they're not missing a ton.
Yeah.
I will say as of lately, it's gotten a lot cooler.
Has it? Okay.
Oh, yeah. They've got some really cool amphitheaters and stuff out there now.
Sweet.
No, I have no idea what the next movie I'm going to go see is besides Trolls.
No, I'm trying to think, my wife travels for work pretty regularly. So she went and saw Barbie by herself.
That was the last movie we saw.
Okay, there you go. But that was a very cultural moment, you know?
We had to go.
You had to go.
Couldn't miss it.
I wanted to see Oppenheimer, but to think of 3 hours that I would go see a movie.
Yeah.
More like 3.5.
That's a movie for the couch.
It kind of is.
I know that's like sacrilegious to say, but
I mean, it is. I mean, you're not respecting like the way it was filmed or like the resolution and blah, blah, blah,
it's
blah,
okay.
blah. But at the same time, I don't have 3 hours. And also, I no longer have the attention span to sit still for 3 hours.
I don't either.
So
it's tough.
It is.
It's tough.
It is.
One day.
Maybe.
We'll see it.
That happened to us. I really like The Last of Us a lot. I've played through like both the video games. Whenever the show came on, I was really excited about it.
Same.
And my wife, she was like, someone had been like, oh, should I watch The Last of Us? And I was like, it's pretty spooky and scary. Like, I'd rewatch it. I like it that much. And then our 7-year-old would always come down, like, as we were about to press play on the episode. She's like, what are you guys about to watch? And we're like, there's literally no scene of this episode that you can watch without having nightmares.
Okay, I will say, though, that I was playing through that game right before it came out, and my daughter was just in there hanging out.
Seriously?
She loved to watch me play it. I forgot the girl's name.
Ellie?
What's it? Ellie?
Yeah.
Well, our daughter is also Ellie.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
So she'd be like, look, it's Ellie. And then meanwhile, she's just like destroying some
you'd be like curb stomping
mushroom
someone.
heads.
Yes. So
it's great.
We've had that though, where like, kid walks down, or like whenever we're doing bedtime, I was like, hey, I know tonight you probably want to come downstairs and just hang out for a little bit. We're going to watch a scary show. So be loud on the steps so that for the next 3 months, you aren't just like, I'm scared of the thing with the sharp teeth.
Yes.
And I'm remembering this exact moment.
Yes. Yes. There have been times when we would like start a movie and she's in here, and then we're like 10 minutes in and we look at each other. We're like, we probably shouldn't be watching this, should we?
Probably not this one.
I think I started like The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, no.
I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
And then we got like 10 minutes in and we were like, nope, we're done.
Not. What's he putting in his nose? He crushed up a Smartie. Can I do that?
No.
Damn it.
No.
That didn't make it any better.
Speaking of Halloween.
Yeah.
That was fun.
How was it?
It was wild.
Did you trick or treat in Donaldson area?
No, we went to East Nashville.
Ooh, okay.
Which I feel bad because, like, my neighborhood, I want it to be cool, but apparently there was like one person on our street the entire night, according to a neighbor, which is so sad. But
that is
whatever. We went over to like a really busy area in East Nashville and just like went to town.
Yeah.
We have so much candy.
It's a bit much.
Well, we have her candy plus all the candy that we left outside hoping would get taken, but none of it did. So we have like all of our candy plus all that.
So at your grand opening, you're going to be giving away
so much candy.
Snicker bars.
Yes.
There's some places. I used to work at a dentist's office, and some places do like they will collect candy to send off to troops overseas and stuff. So there are initiatives that exist.
Okay, good to know.
Out there. I don't know.
Like you trade in a candy when you come to the dentist?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they're there to protect your teeth.
Yes.
That's really what they're there for.
For the most part.
Yeah. It feels kind of it's cool for you that whenever you did your bagel stuff that like you couldn't really tour. Like you actually had something to fill the gap of like, hey,
True.
I should be a musician. I should be out there trying this stuff. And it's like, oh no one's touring. I don't really want to do Zoom right now for a concert.
So I was just started a band like not that long before COVID happened, and we played like a couple shows. And then when COVID hit, we didn't do anything for a while, and then we said like, okay, maybe we should just like get together and have like Zoom chats and just like hang out.
Yeah.
We tried that for a little bit, but it just we couldn't ever make it happen again after COVID, which sucks. It was a lot of fun. But at that point, I really started spending a lot of time just writing music by myself at home.
Okay.
Really getting into writing, and I'd always been a drummer my whole life, so this was like my first kind of foray into just trying it all out myself. And I got like a little home studio set up type thing in my bedroom, and I just was making just like a new song every single day, just demoing and playing and figuring things out, which just kind of turned into the group that I'm in now. And a lot of the stuff that I came up with then we're able to kind of make and mold into new songs for us, which has been great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It feels like it feels so fun and freeing to be able to play music whenever I can. My wife, who is also a saint, is just like never had a problem with me being like, hey, I got practice tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's just like, she knows that I have things I like to do, and then she has things that she likes to do, and we
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's so great that I can just be like, hey, I'm going to practice for a couple hours on a Monday night. And she's like, okay, sounds good.
That's cool.
But she also loves her alone time.
Yeah.
Like more than anybody I've ever met.
Yeah.
Which is such a great thing for me, except the times when I don't want to be alone, because I hate being alone.
Do you really?
I really do. I really am not a big fan of just like doing nothing.
Okay.
I feel like I have to always be on the move.
Yeah.
Like if I just sit in my house, like if I say it's like a very chill morning and I'm just sitting around and I've been up since 8 and it's 9:30, I'm like freaking out. I gotta go. I gotta get out of this house. I've been here too long. Yeah. It was like this morning. So my wife, ever since we kind of stepped away from the downtown bagel shop and let the hotel run things, I've been spending a lot of time focusing on the new shop while she's been working with my brother on his mobile trailer business. So I've been basically work from home for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And like I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know how people enjoy it. Especially like a day like today when my daughter's at home with me and I'm sitting at home and I'm trying to keep her occupied, but it's like kind of dreary outside this morning, so we can't go for a walk. So I just don't know what to do, and I'm just sitting around there.
Do you try to avoid screen time during the day?
You know,
I mean, some days it's just like, I got stuff to do. Here's another movie. Like,
yeah, it just depends. Like, usually if she's at home, so I've been working for this healthcare company.
Yeah.
For the past year or so, just to kind of like keep things moving while I've been also working on the shop.
Wait. So you work for a healthcare company, you do bagel shop, and you're a musician, and you're a dad?
I told you, I can't stop.
You can't sit still. You can't.
I can't. So. I hate it. So I was doing that, but like if I was working from home and I had meetings or anything, she's in her room or like sitting on the couch watching TV.
Of course.
She's obsessed with SpongeBob, which I'm cool with.
Okay.
Because like that doesn't get annoying to me.
Okay.
Like some people watching the same like 4 Disney movies over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It can get a little annoying.
Yep.
You know, like I feel like we do a pretty good job of screen time and then not screen time. Mm-hmm. Usually if we're all at home, no one's watching TV.
Yeah.
Like the TV really doesn't even come on until after dark.
Yeah.
There's such a glare in my living room when the sun's out that I just don't.
You're just like, I'm done.
It's not worth it. I was trying to watch the Loki finale yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch it yet?
Yes. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
We can talk about it later.
Let's talk about life, the trees of life and Norse mythology, basically.
So good.
It turned out, it's been a while since I felt that satisfied by an MCU product.
I'm talking best character arc.
Yeah, best character
in the history. He's also my favorite MCU character.
I forgot how much fun Hiddleston has with that character until season 1, episode 1.
Uh-huh.
He has so much fun.
The only thing that bothered me is how often he would like do this move and then flip his hair back.
Same. Every single time he time slipped and did the.
Okay, we just lost like 90% of the people that listen.
This is very relevant to today because it came out last night. But anyway, Yargastral, is that the name of the tree? Can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's play God of War after this.
Sure, whatever. No, but
anyway, back to watching TV.
Yeah, so TV doesn't even come on until nighttime for us anyway. So we are a very active family.
Yeah.
Which has always been good for me because I can keep myself occupied. It's been cool.
Yeah.
And it's either that or I'm writing music or work. As of late, I've just been going like hard into figuring out all the things we need for the new shop.
I mean, you're going to potentially open up your standalone location in the next 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I've been hiring and then I'm trying to like make sure that like subcontractors are showing up to do their jobs and
that whenever people walk through the door, there's electricity that works.
There is. And as of today, we got Wi-Fi.
There you go.
I think I'm staffed up and ready, but I got people that are just like playing with their fingers, just waiting on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I promise I'm doing as much as I can.
Have you gotten like city inspectors to sign off on stuff yet?
Yeah, that's all happened this week and next week. We should be getting everything done as of the end of next week.
We had Sean from Hi-Fi Cookies on back in like May. And
my neighbor.
Are you right?
It's just right across. It's just right across from the library.
Him talking about how fun it was waiting for city inspectors to come. He's like, I'm paying rent for this space.
Supposedly, it's gotten a lot better than it was when he was doing it. So he also was like GCing the project himself.
He was,
and I paid for a company to do that because I had literally no idea of any of this stuff. Like I said, this is my first time I've ever done any of this.
Oh, I'd be doing the same thing where I'd be like, yeah, if you want me to like tell you if it's straight, I probably wouldn't tell you if anything was straight. I have no knack for any of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's that, and I'm also like kind of nervous to talk to people sometimes.
Oh, really?
Like, I mean,
welcome to a podcast.
I'm just no confrontation.
Oh, I got you.
I am bad at confrontation. My wife is like, she's like, I'll do it. I'll take the phone call for you. Don't worry. Step back. You know, she'll like step in front of me and just like bow up for me.
Yes.
Which is great because I've always like, even growing up, I hated calling people on the phone.
Yeah.
Like not like friends, but anytime they'd be like, I remember the first time my mom made me like do my own doctor's appointment.
Oh yeah.
I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing and I was so scared. And then you do it and it's like, oh, it's not that bad.
Fine. These people literally just are like, yeah, let me just help you. You have a question you need an answer to. Let me help you.
Yeah. So like today we were having a problem. Like this guy just needs to come and finish the tile and he's not come for like 4 days. And I'm over here like complaining to my wife. She's like, all right, let me call him. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Like I would never just call them.
Yeah.
I always find an excuse. I'm like, well, you know what? Like the guy probably has like a really good reason as to why he didn't do it.
And like, does our shop need tile also?
Like I know that the tile's almost done. That's good enough, right?
It's fine. Like, will people even notice the tile whenever they're in the store?
And then my mom's going to show up and be like, what is this?
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this is the real conflict I wanted to avoid.
Exactly. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. To some extent, though. I'm similar of, I feel like because I worked customer service jobs before. And so like, if I'm representing a company or something like that, cool with conflict. I'll deal with all the conflict in the world. Don't care. But when I'm representing myself, I have no idea how to deal with conflict most of the time.
It's similar for me. I know that like there have been times, even when we were downtown, I don't know how often you go downtown, probably not very often.
No, I go to the downtown library like every other week or so.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But I would say like 96% of the customer base downtown is tourists.
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
Which is why I wanted to open like a neighborhood shop.
Yeah.
Because one, there'd be like zero cross contamination in like customer base.
Oh yeah.
And just because like I wanted to get back to our roots, but obviously like people on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, they come in and all they want is just like a Powerade and a greasy bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
And some of these people are a little hungover and they probably some of them have a little attitude.
Yeah.
And I have no problem confrontation when it comes to people like causing a scene in my restaurant or like if somebody's talking bad to an employee of mine, game over. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to stand for that.
Yeah, you'll go represent them and be like, no, get out of here.
The customer is always right sometimes.
Yeah, they aren't usually.
I know. I think that we're past that point of like
I would like to think so. I mean, I think I hope people should just be willing to have a conversation. If something pisses you off, just know that like it's not like there's so many other factors to it. There's so many layers. Like, yeah, something pissed you off, but also like, who are you today?
Man, there's nothing worse than when somebody leaves like a bad Yelp or Google review, which I know for a fact if you would have just talked to me about it,
we've changed all of it.
This never would have happened.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that these people don't talk. They would much rather sit there and leave a little negative comment, literally having no idea how much one bad review affects a small business.
Absolutely. My favorite one, we had Ben from Bagel on at the beginning of the year. And like, yeah, I've read his 1-star reviews before because he'll respond to them. Yeah. And one of them, he was just like, hey, I'm not like a big bagel shop. Like, yes, I was out of stock of that item. I'm sorry. Like, I do think like, I feel like Afton with Fab Pizza once was like, yes, I would absolutely sell you a pizza if I had the ingredients right now. Yes. Do you think I came to a farmer's market hoping to not sell you a pizza? Exactly. That's an awful business model. Yes. I would not be doing this if that was my intentions.
Yes, exactly. And I will tell you that probably as like a dad and a business owner, I have probably gotten so much more laid back when it comes to situations like that and understanding. I also think COVID probably helped with that too. Yeah. But I think it also, in the service industry, for people that don't work in the service industry, I think it like also brought out the worst in people. Yeah. When we first opened, like I said, like it was March, people were just finally coming back out of the woodworks. Yeah. And like, it was a different world that I had never experienced before. Yeah. It was so odd.
Yeah. No, people forgot how to people, I guess, to some extent.
No, seriously. Yeah. It was crazy. I think it's gotten better. But it was a weird time. Yeah. There was this one time we donated a bunch of bagels to like an East Nashville 5K. Yeah. Or it was a marathon or something. And it was like, after you finish your run, you get a bagel. And we ran out really fast. Yeah. And this dude left us this scathing review about how we didn't donate enough bagels. I was like, sir, I'm sorry.
Your donation wasn't enough.
I was like, sir. And it was just like one of those things. I'm just like, come on, man. Like you just don't get it. Yeah. You don't understand.
Have you watched Elemental yet?
Yes. Okay. Of course. I have a 3-year-old.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Whenever she's in the shop and the guy's like, oh, buy one, get one free. I just want the free one. And she's like, that's not how this works. I side with Ember on the conversation a lot harder than I thought I should.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Of course.
So good though.
So good.
I get the sense you guys are pretty big on like letting your daughter be involved in your lives.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She's always just like tagging along and enjoying stuff.
You know, I think it's like something that we always try to do is we never really let her like, I don't like using this word, but I will, but just like hold us back on doing things that we wanted to do like I'll be honest, like she was born, and this goes back to me getting impatient and like liking to stay active. I think on like the 4th day, 2nd day home, like we probably stayed in the hospital for 3 days. And then like we were home, like 2 days later, we were walking down 12 South with like her in a stroller just because I could not sit at home anymore. Yeah. And like, she has always been out. I think we traveled with her to like 5 states before she was 6 months old.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Did you fly or drive?
We drove.
Okay.
Like she's born on the 16th of November. We were down in Mississippi for Thanksgiving, but 20 days later, whenever that was, like, just because like we've always just wanted to get her out and do things. Yeah. Obviously she has like no memory of this, but it never caused any problems. Yeah. She's been the easiest kid since like she was born on her due date at 6 p.m.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then has slept through the night every single night since she's been home. Like she'd never given us problems. It's crazy. So we never let that stop us from doing anything. Like we were never like, oh, we have to go home because like it's her bedtime. We were like, no, we can stay out like an extra hour. She'll be fine. Like what's it going to do? Yeah. And it's never caused any problems. Yeah. And I think that's helped her just like become such a social person. Mm-hmm. Like she loves people. All of our best friends are her best friends. Like
that's cool.
Like we have a couple that lives, they just moved into our neighborhood, but they've been our best friends forever. And they're like her aunts. Yeah. Like besties. And it's always been awesome. It's also great that we have so much family here in town. Yeah. Because there's always
if your brother
family.
Lives with you. Yeah.
That, yeah. And then like my older brother had a kid shortly after we did. So they've kind of grown up together.
Cool.
I have cousins that live here. We just
nice. How do you
great.
have so many people? You're from Mississippi, though.
Yeah, because this is like the closest cool place.
Not New Orleans?
Nobody wants
New Orleans
to move
is a
to
different
New Orleans.
vibe. Okay, got it.
I'm obsessed with New Orleans.
Okay.
I don't think I could ever live there.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
It's pretty sticky. It's just, it's a bit much.
Yeah. It's like my favorite place to vacation.
To visit.
But everybody just moved here.
Okay.
I think it's just like it feels like a big city, but it also, I mean, you probably also realize it's like the biggest small town I've ever been in my life.
Yep.
Like the other day, I went to a rehearsal with this artist I was starting to play with, and just like the guy playing guitar, we worked together like 6 years ago. I hadn't seen him in forever. I'm like, this is so crazy. And then I get to a show the other night and I see a guy from my wife's hometown who I haven't seen in a long time. I'm like, this is all so weird, but like everybody's so connected.
Yeah. But it's also big enough that you cannot see them for like 2 years.
Yeah. Exactly. So back to that, like we were traveling, we were going to different states and doing stuff. And we were in New Orleans with her, which she was like 6 months old. And it's just like always been really fun. It's just like kind of our family's thing to just hop in the car and go for a trip.
Yeah.
Anytime that we get a chance.
If you don't have negative consequences, like I've had that happen, in which we're like, let's push it an hour, and then my kid screams themselves to sleep.
No, that's definitely happened.
Okay.
But not to the point where I've been like, I'm never doing this again.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Or this is like left this terrible memory in my mind, you know? Like,
and your wife feels the same way?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We just like to do us, and Elliot's along for the ride.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Because I've had that. That's what's more made us change, to be like, maybe we should be a little bit more strict on like bedtime stuff, is like 2 or 3 nights of like, oh, they're screaming themselves to sleep and I can't get them to regulate themselves because they're screaming so much. It's like, oh, if we would have left 15 minutes earlier, we could have avoided this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That so typically,
if you haven't experienced that, you do have a good kid.
That typically only happens if we skip nap time.
Oh,
like we are very specific on like, we got to get at least a nap in every day.
Yeah, that's fair.
And she still gets to take her nap at school, which keeps her on schedule.
Yeah.
But it's usually like, we know what her typical schedule is. Mm-hmm. So we'll kind of, we won't say we schedule things around that, but like we kind of do.
I'm that way where it's like my 2-year-old, I'm like, all right, it's about 12:30. We're going to need to start putting you down for nap soon. Might be closer to 1, but around 12:30 is whenever I'm like, all right, we need to get this going.
Yes. But my daughter, like my wife, loves to sleep.
Oh,
so
really?
She never like cries about having to take a nap.
Oh, man.
Like today we were just sitting around and I was like, all right, it's time to take a nap. She's like, all right, let's go. And she'll just go take herself to bed. Like, this is so great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So she's been great. And then her and her brother, like, she's obsessed with him.
Yeah.
We don't get to see him as much as we'd like, just because like now that she's in school and he's also in school.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago, it was so much easier because we could just travel anytime. Yeah. But now it's like, okay, we got to schedule it. Like I just went down there. He lives in Orlando. I just went down there by myself a few weeks ago just because I was like, okay, my new shop's about to open. I'm going to be stuck here for a while. Yeah. Like I need to go do this. We went to Universal Studios. So much fun. I'd taken him to Disney a few times, but we'd never done like a Universal trip.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so much different now that he's older.
Okay.
Like I remember I took him to Disney World. My whole family went when he was like 2, and it was tough.
Yeah.
And then last year for Christmas, me, my little brother, my wife, and Elliot all drove down to Orlando and to pick him up. And then we went to do like 3 days at Disney, which was a lot of fun because he was like 5 at the time and we were having a great time. But then she was a lot to deal with at Disney World.
She was like 3, right?
I mean, she was just turned 3. Yeah. So she like, it was tough.
Yeah.
That wasn't easy. So I liked going down and just doing that, like dad and Parker time, which was so much fun. And it's been crazy to watch him grow up and be the kid that he's turning into. And he does like football, which is crazy because he's a tiny child.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny to see him in like his big pads. But then it's great because Elliot will always, like every day she tries and wants to FaceTime him and talk.
That's
and
cool.
I love that.
Yeah. Did you play any sports growing up?
I did street hockey.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
Which was awesome.
Like an actual organized street hockey league?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, obviously we didn't have any ice hockey in Mississippi.
Yeah. Without saying it, yeah.
Yeah, but like I remember me and my little brother used to do street hockey. There was this park a couple miles from our house, and there was a league in our town, and they would just get like a parking lot and then block it off and kind of put these pads up around the area and set up goals. And then you just go on like Saturday mornings and play with your team against others. And I was always really, really bad. Every sport I ever played, I'm bad. Yeah, skates.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was like inlines. And yeah, I think I scored like once in the 3 years I played.
Okay.
Really bad at sports, which is why I like being a musician so much more because I'm pretty good at that.
This is where all my confidence lies.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the same. I'm
really good at music and like movie and TV, like pop culture trivia.
You're all for it. You're here for it.
Like take me to a trivia any day of the week. Yeah. We have like my friends, we all do trivia. We at least try to go once a week, but we haven't in a while. But we typically win every single time.
Okay. Where do you do trivia at?
We've been doing it at Boom Baz,
yeah,
the pizza place in East. But I'm really tired of winning there because I don't love their food.
And you only win gift cards.
And you only win gift cards. And I was like, I need to go to a place that I'm going to like more.
We live close to Black Abbey, and they do like trivia with Nate on like Monday nights. So, but that's also not that close to you if you live in Donaldson.
I need to, no, distance doesn't matter for a trivia. We'll go.
Nice.
Yeah, like give me movie or music trivia any day, and I'm whooping.
I'm pretty good.
I'm really bad at sports.
Lots of random sports knowledge. So.
See, I know nothing of sports.
Nothing.
That's why we got like a guy for everything on our team. You know, like we got our sports guy.
You got your Ocean 11's team. Yeah.
Also, that movie rocks.
It does. I don't remember the sequels that much. Realistically,
I like them all.
Okay.
I don't know. I just love them.
They're all fun.
They're so fun.
The first one I remember being the most fun.
I get all whodunit.
Do you read any books at all, or do you just do movies?
I wish I read more.
I wouldn't assume you'd have much attention span for reading.
Yeah, I get really
Sorry
bored.
to judge you.
I love podcasts.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, speaking of.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I love podcasts, but I've been trying to read, this is so nerdy, a Steely Dan book.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. I had a copy from the library. I had to return it, so I need to get another and finish it.
Yes.
I should probably also just buy it because I love it so much.
I mean, you seem to have a slight liking of Steely Dan.
Yeah, so. It's called Quantum Criminals. This author, his name is Alex Papademos. He's really great. Yeah. And he basically takes all the characters from every Steely Dan song and just writes pages on these random characters and where he thinks they would have come from and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's an MCU book that I just got today. It's called The Reign of the MCU or The Reign of Marvel.
Yeah, I have that on hold as an audiobook.
I just got it in my Libby today.
Yeah.
I'm about to dive in. It's 16 hours.
Yep.
And then probably I have a Seinfeld book, which I really like. And then Bryan Cranston's autobiography is also really good.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I've been digging into lately. Sweet. I also love cookbooks.
Oh, okay. Who's one of your favorite authors?
Or
personality. I guess it's more personality for cooking.
Me and my wife, what we used to do is we used to just get a cookbook and just run through the cookbook and make as much as we could out of it.
Yeah.
Allison Roman's really good. Okay. She has good stuff. There's this other chef, her name is Molly Boz. She's really good. I like Maddie Matheson. I don't think he's really a chef, but Action Bronson. He has he has a couple good books out. But that's just food and music, my favorite things ever.
Yeah, same.
So it's great.
Yep. Now, I'm a really big Christina Tossi fan. Who's
yes,
Milk Bar.
Love her.
Yeah, so
love her.
Anytime she releases a new book, I'm I don't even want to bake cookies right now, but I'm gonna buy this book because I will later after reading this book.
I also love David Chang.
Yeah, I do too.
He's great.
He's a fascinating character.
Yeah. Yeah. I love doing that. And then podcasts, I go through so many podcasts every week. But I really am into this type of format, conversational. Yeah. My wife loves true crime.
Oh yeah.
And I cannot do it.
She's the stereotypical woman of there was a murder on February of da-da-da-da-da.
She just listens to episodes of Dateline.
What?
Yeah. She doesn't watch them. She'll just they turn every episode into a podcast.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So she'll just listen to it. And then her and all of her friends will be talking about these murders and deaths. And I'm can we talk about what these guys were talking about in this podcast?
Deep dive into this random album that only 3 people know about.
Okay, so speaking of, there's a podcast called Bandsplain. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't, but that's awesome.
All right. So this girl, her name is Yasi.
Okay.
And she'll basically pick an artist and do like a 4-hour deep dive on this artist. It's all like cult bands.
Yeah.
Like the episode from this week is Incubus.
Okay.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
She'll do an episode on like Fish or Steely Dan or even some like more random, like obscure 90s bands. Like it's really cool. Like I think she did like 8 hours on Radiohead.
Oh,
which is so.
Do you ever listen
for me, it was great.
Have you listened to Song Exploder before?
Oh, yes.
Good. Just making sure.
And then Dissect. Have you heard of that one?
No, I haven't.
The guy, he basically picks an album every season, and each episode he like deep dives into a specific song on it. And he's doing In Rainbows right now. It's good.
Have you ever listened to? We'll see how much of this makes a podcast.
I know, whatever.
Have you listened to Krista makes a podcast? He's the lead singer of Less Than Jake.
Okay.
And he goes back and basically meets up with all the people who did like pop punk ska music with them and takes one song and is like, how did you make this song? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the pre-chorus. Let's go verse by verse.
That's nice.
And let's do it. So like I listened to one the other day where he went with Chris Carrabba and he was like, I love Hands Down. I want you to go through verse by verse. How did you come up with this?
Nice.
How did you do this? And so it's just like him nerding out about songs with his friends about the music they wrote and being like, you were really smart when you did this.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's like just really positive and really cool.
That's great. I love it.
I studied production stuff. I went to Belmont. So whenever I listened to a song, like I was in college whenever In Rainbows came out, and I don't know if you knew this, but they released all the stems for all the songs also. So like, yes, I've almost overly like analyzed that album.
I feel like I remember. So I didn't get into Radiohead until like probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I had so much to listen to.
Yeah. No, it's almost overwhelming.
But I feel like I remember when In Rainbows came out because they were like, it's free, and everyone was losing their mind. Yeah. It was crazy.
Like it was literally one of the biggest bands in the world saying like, just take it all.
Would you call Radiohead dad rock?
I would, yes. Because it's very
My dad
music.
hates Radiohead.
So that's
too
the
weird for
discussion of dad rock is who's dad? Are we the dads now listening to music?
Yeah, I think.
So I think it's what now we listen to has now become dad rock.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yes.
Can't talk.
I agree.
I have a brother who's 6 years older than me. So I've been listening to Radiohead since like the Bends. So like 1995. So yeah. That explains a lot of what's wrong with me. I feel like it's just very sad, very doom and gloom.
I get it. Yeah. Yes.
British music. So, yeah. Okay. So here's how we end every episode:
right.
is we ask. Sorry, Invisible Justin, Phantom Justin. The same 5 questions.
Okay.
To every single guest. So the first question: what were your kids' backup names? Like, what were they almost named?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, Elliot literally never had another option. So here's. Yeah. So,
is it Elliot with 1 T or 2 T's?
2 L's, 2 T's.
So Elliot Smith?
No.
Ish?
No.
Ish?
Elliot from Scrubs.
Ah, nice.
Yes. Okay, so it was literally, I think we were like binging Scrubs at the time when she was pregnant. I was like, Elliot's a good name. What do you think? She was like, yeah. I was like, all right. That's literally how it was.
Serious?
It was never another thought in our head.
Just like, yes, is it? This
yeah.
works. Did you find out the gender beforehand?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, I can tell you a crazy story about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, like part of this question is also like, I think how people come up with their kids'
listen
names
to
is
this.
actually fascinating.
So my wife is like she was working at a job at the time, and she was contemplating quitting. And she was like, I don't like this job. I want to find something new, but I don't know what to do. I was like, I mean, yeah, like I'll support you, whatever you want to do. We'll figure it out. And I remember we had a friend over one night and we were just like all out on our back porch, just like drinking like LaCroix and tequila. It was like, we were just being kids. And the next day my wife was like, she says that she was starting to feel funny, but like she didn't know what it was. She's like, okay, I'm just going to randomly take this pregnancy test.
Yeah.
And like she had no thought that she might be actually pregnant. She was like, I'm going to take this test. And if it comes back positive, then I'm not going to quit my job because I need the benefits. But if it comes back negative, then I'll quit. And then she took it and happened to be pregnant. Yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. So we go to the doctor to get a blood test. And they were like, oh yeah, you're definitely pregnant. You're probably like 4 to 6 weeks along. I'm like, okay, cool. They scheduled us for another appointment And they went in and they did the sonogram the way that they're supposed to do it for like a 4 to 6 week old.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, this isn't going to work. And they did one of the bigger ones on her stomach. And they were like, huh, that's interesting. And they're like, how far along did you say that you were? We were like, yeah, the doctor told us we were like 4 to 6. She was like, oh, you're about 20 weeks along right now.
What?
Yeah. So we're like halfway through our pregnancy. No. The last night, like the night before, we're like, like a few nights before, we're literally just like drinking on our patio.
Yeah, just hanging out,
hanging out for like literally being half of a pregnancy, chilling. So we were only pregnant half the time.
Yeah. So she
that's
was
what I'm
chill
saying
with her pregnancy.
That's what I'm saying. Like she never even knew.
Yeah.
She never had any sort of like sicknesses. She was born on the due date at 6 p.m. Like everything about her has been so oddly perfect.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really scared for her to be a teenager.
Also,
I think it's all going to come back to bite me.
You can't have another kid.
We've also had this exact conversation. We're like, we're done. She's too great.
Everything's worked out too well.
Everything is going to go terribly wrong if we try it again.
I mean, that's how karma and pendulums work. It's all the way over here, and now.
Yeah, so that's our funny pregnancy story for Elliot.
That's pretty solid.
I know. We only had to deal with 20 weeks of pregnancy. It went by so fast.
It was also enough time for you to be like, oh, cool. I need to like wrap my mind around the fact that I'm going to be a dad and like this is now going to be my future in my life.
Exactly.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite TV dad?
Probably. Let me think. I feel like all I watch is TV shows with really shitty rich people.
Yeah.
Like
do you watch
Succession
a lot of,
and, you know, things like that. Oh, man. Favorite TV dad.
You don't think Tom's going to be a great dad whenever that baby's born?
I hope that for God, no.
That was a Succession spoiler for all of those who somehow haven't watched it.
If you haven't watched it yet, come on. Well, who's yours?
Oh, my favorite TV dad. So whenever I think of a TV dad, realistically, based on how I was raised, it's Homer Simpson is who I think of as a TV dad usually.
Yeah.
Do I think he's a good TV dad? No, he's an awful dad. But and culturally in my mind, is he the first TV dad I think of? Yeah.
Man, for some reason, I can't even think of like TV dads.
I'll give you examples of what some people have said.
Okay, let's hear it.
Some people have said, we just had for the first time ever, Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights was one of them. Let's see. Phil Dunphy is usually spoken a lot.
He's great.
From Modern Family.
He's a good dad.
Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a consistent
Such a good dad.
Because you can also lump in father figures.
I got a good one.
Okay, yeah.
Alan Matthews from Boy Meets World.
Oh, yeah.
Great dad.
Yeah.
Really good dad. Really cared for his kids. Such a good dad. That's a good one.
We've had Mr. Feeney before, but we haven't had...
Mr. Feeney technically doesn't have any kids.
Which is why he's able to be a good dad, because he doesn't have any of the real responsibility.
That's true. That's true.
It's really easy to be a good parent or role model for someone who you don't have to see if they actually followed through.
That's true. Like, who's like America's TV dad? Like, what do they say? I feel like that's a thing people say.
Yeah. Who would be America's, ooh... This zoom out. Who is America's TV dad? Realistically, it'd probably be like Peter Griffin or
That's
something
a bad
like
one.
that.
That's rough.
Or Bob's Burgers dad.
He's actually a pretty good father.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Bob Belcher, is that right? Belcher?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pretty
good.
Fun dad. I guess you'd have to look
maybe
at
Hank Hill. God, he's a good dad.
He's a good dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of what popular TV shows are, and most of American popular shows are like cop dramas or like medical
like Grey's
stuff.
Anatomy.
Yeah, so it's like, is anyone a good dad in that? Not really.
Not really.
No. I don't think JD was probably a good dad because he ended up having a kid by the end, right?
Yeah, with Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, that's right. Man, that show by the time that show ended, I was like, there are too many random storylines here.
Well, we don't even talk about season 8.
No,
so.
you don't. Was that the random Aziz Ansari season also? Was he in that one?
He was a little bit before. He was an intern on like
right.
a couple seasons prior.
That's right, because it got canceled and then got brought back.
But you know, Turk is a good dad.
Yeah.
Turk's a good dad.
Yeah. We'll go with Turk. Turk is your...
I bet we never got to see it, but I bet Michael Scott was a really good dad.
Oh.
Like he has, I think he ended up having kids like in the finale. He talked about it with Holly.
Yeah.
I bet he was a really great dad because all he ever wanted to be was a dad.
Pretty much. Next question. What's your least favorite kids show or movie? Like whenever your daughter goes to watch it, you're like, oh God, please no.
Okay, well, we cut Coco Melon out of our house real fast.
That and Caillou are the most consistent answers.
We knew that like we were not a Coco Melon house from the beginning.
Yeah. We never did Coco Melon for any of our kids.
Yeah.
Very intentional.
Anytime that she'd be like, ask for it, I think she learned real fast not to ask for that show.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this weird show on Netflix called Booba.
What?
It's like, he's called a hobgoblin.
Okay.
And the episodes are like 6 minutes long. So like every 6 minutes, the theme song plays again.
Yeah.
No, I'm also like, no Booba in our house anymore.
Yeah.
We're done.
That's fair.
That's the worst.
Yeah. It's surprising now that like whenever we were kids, you had to like choose between like 5 different TV shows. And now it's like, no, I can have a list of like 20 shows I'm going to refuse to watch.
There are some really good ones though.
There's some great ones. What's your favorite kid show?
It's got to be Bluey.
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing better.
It's so good.
And I've been trying for like 4 years to get her into Bluey, and it just started like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Can I watch Bluey?" Yes. As much Bluey as you want.
Let's load them all
and then
up.
like she'll pull us, like me and my wife, into the room to do the little dance with everybody.
That's cute.
Every time a new episode starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just lovely.
What's your favorite Bluey episode? If you had to choose a favorite.
Oh, I don't know. I like the one with the fairies.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like Unicorse a lot
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a dad being obnoxious as hell, and I relate to that for some reason.
Like, man, these Australians really did it right with just like, I don't know what the idea in the writer's room was to just be like, let's make this show like slightly relatable for adults, and let's make the adults like actual people.
Yeah. Did you read a lot of Calvin and Hobbes growing up?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like Bluey has very Calvin and Hobbes energy, where like the kids are ridiculous, lost in their imagination, creating ridiculous worlds, and the parents are part of it, but also making fun of each other the entire time.
Exactly. It's so good.
I feel like it has a very Calvin and Hobbes energy to it, which makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite kids toy? Like whenever your kids go to play with it, you actually enjoy playing with it also?
Well, she's at this age now where she is like, she's learning all of her letters. So we have this book that it'll like, it's like a press pad thing that has little, all the letters on it, and it'll kind of read the alphabet out to her, and then it'll stop on a letter and she'll have to find the next letter. And it's just like really awesome getting to watch her figure that out.
Yeah.
Which is so much fun. Also, aside from that, that's like my fun learning toy that she has. Yeah. And then she has like this little baker set, which just like makes me happy.
That's cute.
So she'll put on her little apron and come around and like serve everybody cookies. And it's so cute. I love that.
That's sweet.
She was just doing that at home before I came over here. Yeah.
It's so cute. I love when my middle child used to do that, where she would want to play haircut, when she basically would pretend to cut my hair. And she'd be like, "So how was your day?"
Exactly. Like, it's so fun.
Is so cute because I find it really cute and special whenever you can see how your kid interprets the world, and play is normally the best way to see how your kid interprets the world. So that's really sweet. Final question.
Okay.
What moment of your kid's life are you most excited to be a part of?
I mean, I guess probably the most common answer is to be like, watch them get married. But
walking her down the aisle.
No. I mean, yeah, obviously I'm excited for that.
I mean, I'll be there happily, but
what about just like being there for like their first like heartbreaks or first like, I don't want to say like let down, but just like something that really humanizes your kids, you know, something like figuring out that the world isn't like as bright as it seems sometimes, and just like being there to help them understand like the way of the world and the way things like that, like we are as family.
Yeah.
What we like, we're here all the time and we'll always be here to support and love and things like that. I'm trying to think of like the best way to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah. No, I think, as a parent, a lot of your time is hoping for opportunities to be a guide to your child. And I think there are lots of moments whenever, whenever you don't get your way or when things don't turn out, when disappointment happens, it's a good way to know how, it's an interesting view of character. Who do you become whenever you don't get your way? And whenever it's your child, you get to sit there and be like, hey, things didn't go your way, there's actually still a lot of good and love in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This one moment didn't have a lot of good or love
exactly.
in it. But man, there's a lot of other good and love in the world. And look how much, even whenever you didn't become who you thought you could become, you are still worth loving.
Yes.
And to be able to, I am desperate to hope that I can step up to that moment whenever it happens.
I know. It's like scary because I know it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Probably already did for all I know.
It's one of those things like you can't really prepare for it because it's just gonna happen.
Yeah. Even with your own self, if you're like, hey man, you really failed at this thing. Hey, you're still worthy of love. Yeah, that's the self-talk I should tell myself.
But that has never happened before.
But I'm gonna go just do other things for about 3 days, and then I'll come back to this disappointment I feel right now.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Well, here's your chance to promote like your bagel shop. Like, what's your Instagram handle?
Yes.
Do you have a opening date yet for when you guys will open?
No, I'm too scared.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have what's the address gonna be? Do you know that?
Yeah, it's 2708 Old Lebanon Road. That is in Nashville, Tennessee, 37214. It's like the first floor corner unit in the Donaldson Flats apartment building. But we're separate. We're not part of the apartment. So you cannot come and live at Bagel Shop.
Oh, come on.
Our Instagram handle is Bagel Shop Nashville. We still have our shop downtown. Go there, support them. Come to Donaldson, support us. It's going to be amazing. And I'm seriously, my vision is finally coming.
That's awesome, man.
And many, many years of hard work have brought us here. Hard work, luck, and like support.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all I could ask for. And it's been great so far. So I can't wait to see it, like what Nashville thinks about what we're about to bring.
Yeah, man.
If you know anything about bagels, it's like the most divisive carbohydrate in the entire world.
Like it, yeah. And do you pronounce it bagel or bagel?
Get out of here.
I feel like that's also one of the weird debates though. And like, do you do a cream cheese? Do you call it a schmear?
It's a schmear.
It's a schmear.
It's a schmear.
It's just, there are lots of, I feel like the subculture of bagels or like, do you do fish? Do you like, I just think of like Jewish bakeries usually that do a lot of it. Like, do you intentionally cater to that audience or not?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as I can. I mean, I grew up Jewish.
Oh, did you? Cool.
Yeah. My mom raised me that way, me and my brothers. And yeah, I try to bring a lot of like my childhood, like memories into the shop as much as I can.
Sweet.
With like the foods that we were brought up on specifically. Cause I think just like food is such a good way to share.
Yeah, absolutely. There's like
share
culture
memories,
yeah.
Share your culture, share everything. So like as much as I could bring to the new shop. So yeah, lots of really good options.
Okay.
The menu is looking good.
Awesome.
It's looking good.
Well, I'm going to have to come and try it out also.
Of course.
So, well, thanks so much for being on, man.
Yes. Thanks
really
for having me. Thanks for the lemon bars.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes.
Thanks again for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Nashville Dads and to subscribe to us on Apple and Spotify podcast. We record at New Light Podcast Studio and episodes are produced by me, Devon.